You've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now let's see a Spanish Chainsaw Massacre. Well, I say a flick that came from Spain, of course. Prepare yourselves as I review the film known as Pieces. Big T's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1982 Spanish American slasher flick, Pieces. Well, I can't pronounce its Spanish title, but it's called The Night Has a Thousand Screams. It was released in the US by Film Ventures International and directed by Juan Piquer Simon, starring Christopher George, Paul Smith, Edmund Purdom and Linda Day, and others. The plot follows an unknown assailant killing female college students in Boston who uses their body parts to make a human jigsaw puzzle. It was a co-production of Spain and the United States. So, in other words, it was done in Spain and the US. So, I'll just call it that a film from Spain in ways. Anyway, I'll just give you some of the story. The story starts out in 1942 in Boston, where a 10-year-old Timmy Reston is abused by his mother, who compares him to his father for playing with a jigsaw puzzle of a nude woman. After she orders him to dispose of it, he returns with an axe, murdering her, then dismembers her body with a hacksaw. When the police arrive, he hides inside a closet and pretends to be a witness to the crime. Police believe Timmy's story and he is sent to live with his aunt. 4 years later, after witnessing a female skateboarder smash into a mirror, a black clad figure opens a box containing the bloody clothing and a photograph of Timmy's mother. He also unboxes the bloody jigsaw puzzle and starts to put it together. While studying outside in broad daylight, a female student is decapitated with a chainsaw by an unidentified killer who steals her head. Lieutenant Bracken and his partner Sergeant Holden investigate the murder. Arthur Brown, a reserved professor of anatomy who is often teased by students for being homosexual, gives the detectives a tour of the school. Outside, the groundskeeper, Willard, is seen trimming a hedge with a chainsaw. In the library, a student named Kendall receives a note given by a young woman to come to the pool later. The killer finds and tracks down the note writer at the pool, where she's brutally murdered with the chainsaw. Willard later arrives on the scene and is arrested, believed to be a suspect. Near the pool, they find the chainsaw and the victim's body parts, save for her torso. Professor Brown inspects the remains and is briefly considered a suspect. Well, this is all I'm going to give to you on the story, but the kills get really tense later on, especially one getting, one student getting, cut up in an elevator, one gets killed in a waterbed, and even one gets sawed in half in a restroom stall. Yes, that's all. Which those are just some of the kills I'm going to tell you about. But that's all the story I'm going to tell you. If you want to know the rest of how this goes, see the movie because that's just one film I would recommend. Since its release, it has attracted a cult following and has been a drive-in favorite. While not prosecuted for obscenity, the film was seized and confiscated in the UK under Section 3 of the Obscene Publications Act 1959 during the video nasty controversy. The film was released in Spain in August of 1982 and then the following year in the US. So I was just kind of late for its anniversary here in the US. So now, even though I was going to review this film last month, but for my super sci fi September, but I had to postpone it because of going to see Expendables 4. But anyway, I am going to say, after I've watched it a few times, I'm going to say Pieces is a pretty bloody good film and what have you. While it doesn't have that many current reviews, it holds a 46% thing on Rotten Tomatoes, but no reviews well, no written reviews I know of. But anyway, a critic for the LA Times, this is saying it's a wretched, stupid little picture whose sole purpose is the exploitation of extreme violence against women, and further criticized it for being poorly dubbed and lacking suspense. Now, however, someone from the Fort Lauderdale News also kind of dissed it, calling it as a gross out extravaganza, bargain basement abomination. In a retrospective review, someone from the AV Club wrote that the film's narrative is pedestrian as hell, but damn the execution. The movie manages to luck into that ideal combination of over the top bloodshed, gratuitous nudity of both male and female types, though the latter is, as expected, the main stage show, an unintentional absurdity for which enthusiasts of the genre are perpetually on the hunt. I understand all these and what have you, but I don't care. I thought it was pretty good and what have you. Definitely. Again, it became a cult classic. Now, I have seen there's a special uncut, uncensored director's cut that was released in 2008. And Arrow actually released it in 2011. Then Grindhouse released a double Blu ray edition in 2016, which features the soundtrack to the film on CD and some other things. Now, its score was done by, well, a lot of people, but I can't really figure out how to say their names. I do apologize for that. But I know that it was done by several composers, collectively credited as CAM. Now, our cast included Christopher George as Lieutenant Frank Bracken, Linda Day as Mary Riggs, Frank Branya as Sergeant Randy Holden, and Paul L. Smith as Willard, and Jack Taylor as Professor Brown. There's lots of others and what have you. So, anyway, I thought the cast wasn't too bad, what have you. So, anyway, Pieces. I feel like this is easily an underrated slasher flick. But again, I don't care what they say. This film's pretty bloody in some parts. So I'm thinking if you're into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, I'd say you're gonna feel right at home with Pieces. But would I recommend it? I'd say sure, go ahead, go for it. Like I said, the kills are pretty good and what have you. Well, if I happen to see it in a better uncut format, I'll look into it. So anyway, that's all I want to tell you about this film. What did you think of this film? What's your opinion on Pieces? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you another review and what have you, but I won't tell you what it is though. Just wait for it. I'm going to, because it's a film I was going to put on the schedule but didn't get on in time, but rest assured you're going to get it. Just wait for it. So, I do hope you enjoyed this, and if you did like my review of Pieces, check out my reviews of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the 2003 remake. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre the beginning, or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre the Next Generation, or Return to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, on the Big D's thing, see ya.